Hi everyone, this is Anthony Wall Street Trader. Please note nothing in this video is financial advice. The video is intended for educational purposes only. If you want to stay up to date with my latest videos, click the subscribe button below as well as the bell next to it. These videos come out generally once a day, but they come out at different times. Intraday updates and major market moves around the cryptos that I cover in this video, you can click on that Twitter link, it's in the description below. Let's get started. Okay, good morning everyone. It's 9:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day for those that live in the States or are American. It is July 4th, 2021. Okay, Nucypher US dollar, it's 23.67. Again, we're still consolidating, and again, I continue to say this couldn't be a better situation for Nucypher. I think that this is consolidation. If people are wondering where the whales are, believe me, if there are whales that are interested in this, they're not going to buy it all at once. They don't want to move the market. They're probably going to buy in small pieces to keep it relatively stable. And that's what I think is going on here. Anyway, we're at 23.67 on Nucypher. I bought in at 43.7 cents. I'm not worried one bit. Let's take a look at why. Inner strength, Nucypher Bitcoin, is one of the factors that I think contributes to Nucypher US dollar, as well as Nucypher to any currency out there. This is fiat currency agnostic. The inner strength is fiat currency agnostic. That means I don't care where this Nucypher is traded. This is the ultimate strength that can be used anywhere in the world, and I know that this is going to be more reflective of Nucypher than its comparison to any fiat currency. Anyway, so let's look at Nucypher Bitcoin. I don't want to belabor that. A couple things going on here. Number one, this consolidation that I'm talking about back here, it started in January the 3rd, 2021, ended in like the 18th or the 17th of January. So a couple of weeks. I also copied and pasted that same line with the same length of time under here. So if you notice, and it's probably hard to read on your phone, but from the trough at the start of this horizontal to right now, we are July 4th. Now, if I move my mouse over, it should end by July 7th. So I think over the next 2 to 3 days, probably maybe sooner, it could happen like this afternoon. People might be grilling their barbecue steaks and hamburgers and hot dogs, but the reality is that I think that over the next 2 to 3 days, we're going to start to see this thing percolate. So we're going to start to keep our eye on this more closely, and I'll be tweeting out this a little bit more. Now, a couple of things that have been talked about recently in terms of the market. The Motley Fool service just came out. Motley Fool or Fool.com is a stock advisory service out there. They're talking about Keep. Over the last 24 hours, this article came out talking about how great it is, talking about its merger with Nucypher. But something more important here, this is where people who don't know much about either technology and or do a deep dive in terms of what Keep and Nucypher are, these things, basically, Fool is comparing Keep with Monero and Zcash. All right, let me just debunk this whole point here. There is no competition. This competition is with companies that have completely different use cases and or are vertically aligned. Something like Zcash is a vertical cash payment system. This is not the same thing. Like, this is the problem. Is like, yes, secrecy is important. I could say that about any company out there. So throwing these things in here are probably very confusing. But anyway, I don't want to belabor that point. Just wanted all of you to know. Let's look at the graph now, because I think the graph is important for us to look at. A lot of things happening with the graph to US dollar. Popped over this yellow line. Not only did we pop over it, but we blasted off over it. And I was tweeting this out yesterday and hoping that it would stay. Look, we need to stay over this another 12 hours, and I'd be really happy, and I feel really bullish on the graph. And let's take a look real quickly on where I am with the graph. I'm in at 81 cents. We're at 67 cents. We're not far away from my entry point, I mean, on a relative basis to where we've been. But at the same time, we have to see this thing play out. Now, if you look at the graph relative to Bitcoin, We are still struggling here on this yellow line. So I would like, we clearly penetrated this diagonal. We clearly penetrated past this horizontal red line. Now we need to get over this yellow line. This is going to be potentially thicker and harder than we thought. But let's see how it plays out. Looking a little closer into the price action. Man, it wants to get through. It wants to get through. This could be a pennant. Anything can happen. So just keep your eye on this one. I'll be tweeting it out as I have been yesterday. RLC. Let's look at RLC right now. We're at 287. Now we're at $5.04. That's what I bought it at. We're markedly down right now. However, that being said, we are definitely passing this red line of resistance. And as I've mentioned, we need to stay over it. It's a little bit under pressure here. I would like to see it properly start to lift off here. But again, we have to look at a couple of things underlying RLC US dollar, which is RLC to Bitcoin. So we're looking at RLC Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that. Now, over here, we're still over this line, but look, we're still slightly under pressure. We need to get a proper bounce. But again, a lot of these currency pairs are taking some time to gyrate through the motion. So let's let the next couple of days play out here for some of the slightly more struggling cryptos to consolidate and find proper footing. And then, of course, let's move into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually, starting to come through this orange line of resistance. It started way back in May. This is going on for 2 months. This would be great if we could get over this orange line and stay over for a while and make a proper move towards that green trend line, which is pointing straight to 80,000. That would be fantastic. And just a couple of points about Bitcoin in the news. JP Morgan coming out saying that, if the dominance of Bitcoin or the Bitcoin dominance goes above 50%, then we should start to see very big bullishness in that cryptocurrency. So, remember, Bitcoin dominance back in April was around 60%. They called that right. Look, I'm not sure that dominance really matters here, but it's important to know anyway, just in the back of your mind, that maybe people who follow this may actually believe it and act on it, in which case that would be a bullish signal for Bitcoin. Now, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance pair. The Bitcoin BTC.D is the Bitcoin dominance. And as you could see, back in April, we were up here, close to 60, right around 60. Came all the way down, but now we're starting to track back up. We're at 45, 46. A lot of news coming around it, circulating around it. Miami conferences, Max Kaiser, Peter McCormick, all sorts of big, names in the Bitcoin arena, even Michael Saylor, obviously. This is definitely going to have some bullish impact on Bitcoin dominance. We're only at 45.83, 46. We only got a little bit left to go at 50. 50 is right here where this horizontal on the yellow dotted line is. That's where we need to be in order, in JP Morgan's view, in order for Bitcoin to have finished its sinking and going forward, going up. So let's take a look at how this plays out. Everyone have a good 4th. Take care.